Greetings, everybody. This is Mr. Clay here from Dysfunctional Culture. I'm alongside my illustrious co-host as always.
Well, hello, everybody. This is Lady A. Hoping you're having a wonderful day and hope it continues.
Sounds good. Sounds good. I found an interesting topic today that I
I'm
think we should
waiting.
discuss. I'm gonna let you take a wild guess just to see if you know. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see if you can imagine what we're gonna discuss today.
Let's just say bugs.
That's a hell of a guess because I was watching a couple of documentaries on YouTube about how they've been doing with the bugs and that they've been using bugs all this time. They farming bugs. They got a whole Tyson Foods has signed a contract. Tyson Foods have stopped production of their chicken farm, all their poultry, everything, so they can get into the bug business.
Crazy.
So if they're about to do it, how many more about to do it?
And I'll give you something else too. Did they really want to stop? Because chicken has been going up exceedingly high, exceedingly fast. Was it really their option, or were they told this is what you're going to do?
This is what they were told. This is what you got to do.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
Because now that they've done it, because see, this is the thing about it is when I was investing, heavy investing, before I lost my mind and stopped, uh, you get your reports and you see who sits on each other boards, and they all sit on each other board.
Yep.
And so you got the man from IBM CEO. He was the director of the board for Kroger's. Now, what does this man who has something to do with technology and was the company is also known for being around the H man with the small mustache? Why are they got anything to do with your food?
This is what happens when small-minded individuals who have enough money to do whatever they want to do become bored because the only thing left for them to do is to rule you. We become chess pieces that they play checkers with. And I say it that way because they don't perceive us to have enough intelligence to see, understand, and comprehend what it is they're truly doing. So they play checkers with our lives, except for those of us who peep the game. Then they might kill us, depending on how much voice we have.
Well, they call us useful idiots. I mean, you start to find that because I always ask this question: why would they make a job site called monsters.com? Because that's what they consider humans, monsters.
Interesting concept.
I always used to ask that: why would they make a job site called monster.com? Because they considered us monsters.
That's you know what? That's a very interesting concept, and that's something we forget sometimes. There's so much information bombarded at us all the time that we miss some of the little things that we should question. That's one in point right there.
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely. Hmm.
And it's so much stuff like that, and you pay attention, but you be just like, that ain't no big deal, not
But
realizing
yes, it
it
is.
is a big deal. That's
Yeah.
why you noticed it.
Yep. And it's similar to certain things that as you go through life, you hear it and you see it and it clicks. But because you're so busy, it stays back here until something else happens. Oh, I mean, COVID is my biggest one. Uh, a scientist once said, these things happen because we meddle with stuff we ain't no business messing with. Then you have an outbreak, and now here come the blame game. Then you have, um, then you have the situation where you look back and you see what has been done. One of the greatest things that was done was COVID, was getting rid of people who had been here before who understand and know. And
Mm-hmm.
the second was to break up the church world.
Mm-hmm.
Transgenderism never, ever would have gotten a foothold prior to COVID. Never would have occurred. The church had too much power during that time. And true church people got a problem with transgenderism. They have a serious problem. Um, it would not have, it would, and even with, I'm not a Trump fan, but I don't disagree with everything Trump said. And Trump had a problem with that, a blatant problem. And I don't believe we'd be where we are right now with it. Even though they were pedophiles to some degree. Uh,
Can I show you some church people that wouldn't have a problem with the transgenderism?
sure.
Okay,
One in
good.
Texas got a house.
Hold tight. Just hold tight. I got in my Instagram, I got a video that I just shared with a friend of mine who me and her's always just talking about just how insane this world is. Okay, just hold tight up.
And
That's
just to let people know, we haven't forgotten about the bug, but there's so many other connections when you're talking about an issue. And we'll get back to the bugs. We'll get back to the bugs, and I don't mean Bugs Bunny.
okay. Where is this at here? I just sent it. Nope, that ain't it. Here we go. All right. Okay. Okay, here. Check this out here. I tell you, we just make a mockery out of things. We really do. Okay. Let me refresh it. You hear it? Did you hear it?
Nope. Mm-mm.
Huh?
Nope. No.
Okay, hold on.
To the flow and showing love. I'm on the grind, cause for my sins he died. Died. Cause I know I'll be at the pearly gates for show. I'll be in the number when the trumpet starts to blow. But tonight I
Oh my
gotta
goodness.
drop it low.
God loving music. Give it up again for what's your name?
Renita.
Drop it low for Jesus.
Truly something else. Wow. Wow. The audacity.
Social media is nothing but a confession booth.
That was a hot mess.
I mean, so anything, I mean, okay. What was we talking about? Back to the bugs.
Back to the bug. Yes.
Drop it low, Jesus.
But you know what? You ought to quit. That's all. Just stop laughing. Cause that was awful. That was so low. And you know what I thought about the moment I saw it? Was when Will Smith and Jada Pinkett were hosting one of the award shows. And Jada said, "Don't be thanking God for this." Her exact words. Don't get to be thanking God. God had nothing to do with this. Her exact words. And Michelle from Destiny's Child, after they had done that thing about cater to you, and was sitting on the
Mm-hmm.
guy's lap, and Terrence Howard was having a fit because Beyonce was sitting on him.
Mm-hmm. Going
And
through it.
yeah, and Michelle made the comment about, well, I know what she said, but this got to be the last. I'm thinking to myself, you the church girl to sing gospel. God ain't got nothing to do with that.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
I mean, even though
Absolutely.
the song itself is not bad if a woman is singing it to her husband, but no, we're putting God in stuff. And y'all tell you one other thing, and we'll go back to our bugs. I'll never forget when Usher was new to the game and he accepted the award and he said, thanking the Lord Jesus Christ. And he has never said it again. Never.
Interesting.
But yeah, the bugs have been that's been an ongoing thing since Star Trek. Literally, since the movie Star Trek, the TV show Star Trek, there's always been a way to introduce things to you that you find unappealing, shall we say. But that's why when we were speaking earlier, I made the comment on how they do it. Chocolate covered ants. The little ball of chocolate about this big, a little ant in the middle of it.
Yeah, because
You know,
I
things
remember, growing up, they always had like chocolate covered beetles and chocolate covered caterpillars. So they've always been around. But it's just
Yep.
now they have pretty much forced it in your diet.
Well, see, they did it before. They introduced it to sugar, introduced it with candy, something
Exactly.
that's an appealing to your taste buds
Absolutely.
to get your
Absolutely.
mind off of. Well, think about the worm in the tequila.
There you go.
I'm just saying, what's the logic of the worm being in the tequila?
There you go. I agree. What is the logic?
And sometimes he's not dead either.
Yeah, he's actually swimming in there.
And there's another something that has a snake in it, but it seems like the snake ain't. What was that? Had a snake in it though, but the snake was poisonous. The way the bottle was made, you shouldn't access the snake. But either way, that might have been that might have been a movie. That's kind of far fetched. But anyway, I don't. It's not something I want to go to the grocery store and get them on a regular basis. But I'd rather eat the bugs than the fake meat. I have purchased ground up grasshopper to put in things like my smoothies and stuff like that. I have, because grasshopper, the protein level is like 33%. I mean, it's way up high. But I can't see me eating no roach. But they got those too.
Yeah. Yeah. I seen the roaches. Let's watch a little of this video.
Okay, I'm ready.
I don't know if this is the one that I was, but it might be similar. But here we go. Oh shit.
Ons proces is helemaal circulair. We maken gebruik van voedselresten van bedrijven hier in de buurt. En daar maken we recepten van die de larve weer lekker vindt. Bijvoorbeeld bij het maken van frietjes komen heel veel resten vrij. Die kunnen wij dan weer goed gebruiken. In de wereld wordt heel veel eten weggegooid. Ongeveer 1/3 bereikt niet ons bord. Dus we kunnen de larve al die resten laten eten en zo weer in de voedselketen terecht laten komen.
Maggots.
Bij Protix creëren we de ideale omstandigheden, juiste luchtvochtigheid, juiste temperatuur, zodat de vlieg zich optimaal kan voorplanten en de eitjes daarna grootgebracht kunnen worden tot volgroeide larven. Het is een heel efficiënt proces, omdat de larve een heel efficiënt beestje is en de vlieg maar weinig water nodig heeft. Dit alles gebeurt met heel weinig vierkante meters, doordat we vertical farming toepassen. Wanneer de larven volgroeid zijn, worden ze gezeefd. Alle resten die overblijven, die kunnen we dan toepassen als natuurlijke meststof. We noemen dit fertilizer. De larven worden gewassen in koud water, vermalen, gepasteuriseerd en daarna verwerkt tot eiwitmeel, vet en puree.
We produceren unieke, hygiënische en duurzame ingrediënten.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to tell you, maggots can be used for healing processes. Matter of fact, maggots have been the reason some people's lives have been saved, because they eat out the bad part of a wound. But that's the only way I would eat it, is ground up. Because they have the mealyworm that people eat as is.
Yep.
And they eat stuff that's alive. I'm like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah, I've definitely, because and the one that I was watching actually was part with the mealyworm. They was talking about the mealyworm.
Yeah, the meal that's supposed to be high in protein as well. But again, I'd rather eat that than eat fake meat, because at least I know my body will survive off of it. It makes a difference in ingesting it.
Exactly. Exactly. But yeah, it's watching this stuff being made in actually in plants though. You know what I mean? It's like how it's mass produced like that. It's like, and how often do
And
they
a
clean up
fly.
how
That place
often do
look
they
cleaner than the places in they're processing food.
it really does. But see, it's new facility. It's new
Still.
it's new facility. So,
But even
yeah,
the way they're utilizing it, it should stay that way
and
with vertical farming.
it looks far more efficient. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. But to see all of these bugs, they looking like, you like maggots and all this, like.
I can tell you this, you won't run out of it. That's the
No, you
one
won't.
thing.
No,
Producing bugs, you're gonna always have enough.
always. They're gonna always have enough bugs. Bugs is gonna
Yep.
always be around,
And they don't take long to reproduce.
and they
And you can get
reduce.
thousands of
I
them
was,
in a
about,
couple of hours.
I was about to say, and their reproduction rate is far faster than anything else.
Yes, we talking about days, because flies
Yeah,
only live so long.
exactly.
I
Exactly.
mean,
So
like I said, I don't want to eat the fly. I don't even want to eat the maggot. But you ground it up and give it to me like that, I can put it in stuff. Yeah, I do it.
I mean, at that point, I mean, think about it.
I
All
don't
this,
know what's in it now anyway, if it's powder.
think about it. All this time, red velvet cake. They've been extracting that from the beetles. We just finding out where vanilla flavor is coming from.
It ain't always the vanilla bean.
Exactly. So you know what I mean. It's like we've been
Well,
doing.
what about gelatin?
There again, that we
Jello.
there go
Yeah,
another one.
yeah.
There go another one. I mean,
So there's always been some gross things going on, and really, they did us a disservice by making some things appear nasty. Because
exactly.
had they never had done that, we'd be real receptive to doing all these things. I mean, then think about it. When poor people like certain things, well-to-do people get a hold to it now, like chitlins. Oh, now it's a delicacy.
Here's another one just like that. Shrimp, lobster, and crab because they live at the bottom of the sea, right? Of the
Yep,
ocean.
yep,
Poor people used to go dig and get them. And then when
yep,
rich people started tasting and liking it, the price shot up high because that
yep.
was poor man's food, just like catfish.
Hey,
All
how
of that
about
man's food.
oxtails?
Again, I have you seen the price of oxtails?
Oxtails are ridiculous. You might well go and get you some oxes yourself and cut their tails off when they grow.
Seriously, seriously. I mean, you used to get a whole bag of oxtails for $25. Now you getting the bag is so small, and they
Or for
want.
30.
I was about to say, and they want $30 for it. And you can't get the big ones because they be so fatty. Yeah, I paid the oxtails definitely. The price of oxtails is ridiculous. Cause now and then with some, I remember I was working at the nursing home, and this woman said about eating tuna fish because she was a nurse at this wealthy black woman house too, where she perceived this woman to be wealthy black woman house, but the black woman loved to eat tuna fish, and she thought that was a rich person's food because this rich black woman loved tuna fish. And we had to break her down and say, have you ever looked at how much tuna fish costs in the store?
I tell you another one that they try to overprice now. It's not the tuna fish. What? Just spam.
Yes, yes, yes. See, again,
But
that goes,
that was our go-to, and you didn't have nothing else but spam. But
yeah,
now that little salty meat, they trying to make it cost a little fortune now because
yeah,
they have learned how to
exactly.
do other things with it. But our folks always knew how to make it spiced up and do all kind of stuff with it.
I'm gonna tell you. See, when I was living in Arizona, I seen what you talking about. I seen it happen because remember the economy was bad when I was living in Arizona. Economy was real bad then. So this is the 2008 and all that time. On the news out there in Arizona, they had recipes for ramen noodles on the news. Me and my ex is looking like we've been eating. Well, I ain't never ate them. You know what I mean? So I can't say I've been eating them, but we like, those black people been eating this shit when they first came out.
Yep,
And
especially when they was in college.
exactly. And now y'all got recipes and shit. You know what I mean? It's like,
And if you can make your own, it's better.
and then they got to talking about ways to use spam and the potted meat and all this. And I'm like, y'all done got poor, so now y'all done figured this out.
And all the different beans. We've been doing that for years. Cause we ain't never got to have meat if you got some good beans and know how to fix them. I can tell you something else that's going up. Turkey tails.
Oh my God. Turkey, all of
Cause
that.
I love turkey tails, but all of a sudden now, whew, this was in a short span of time. Because when I first started utilizing turkey tails or turkey necks, couple of dollars. You can get you like 4 of them.
Yeah.
4 of them now, almost $10.
Yeah. But see, that's all these food makers trying to drive us away from the expensive meat, that process, and so they can go to the cheaper, more efficient, cost saving bugs. So it's
After a
all
while, you'll be eating a roach steak.
and thinking it's
Because
the
what
best.
they do is they'll ground it up, put it in a little position, and fix it which way it's supposed to look. There you go.
Put a little color
Maggot
into
rib.
it.
Yeah, a little coloring. Maggot ribeye.
Yes, so you gonna be yes, yeah. Keep it. Now hold on. See, this is how on point you is, right? And they been had this over in France or Italy. The cheese with all the mold on it.
Yeah.
Have you seen that?
Yes, I have.
And they got, I guess, the maggots or whatever that's still in the cheese. And these people are actually dipping it in. They heating it up, dipping it on the crack. And I'm sitting
Hey,
here
well,
like,
what about caviar? I've never had it. I
me
just can't get
neither.
myself to eat it.
Keep it. Keep it.
I've wanted to try it, but I was like, I know what they are. I don't want to eat them eggs. I like my eggs scrambled, fried, or poached.
Yeah, keep it. Seriously. Seriously. The weird escargot. All that crazy.
Well, I'm going to tell you, I've never tried them, but I had a friend from Nigeria and I saw what they looked like cooked. And I'm like, okay. But I never got an opportunity to try it because they were gone before I got up to get some. However, the reason I would not eat them before, because down south where I'm from, all I can remember is you put salt on them and they start disappearing. You put salt on a snail, on a slug, and we used to call it turning to butter because they literally started melting away and it would turn yellow. And I just in my head could not imagine. I put a little salt on my food and it started melting in the plate while I'm looking at it.
What is doing
But then when I saw what it looked like, I said, okay, I might try it, but I haven't yet. But
Yeah,
still.
I had snails. I didn't had alligator, shark.
Yeah, the alligator was good. I haven't had the shark, but I know the Publix grocery store down south, they sell alligator fillet.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
And I just haven't tried it yet.
I had rattlesnake also.
Yeah, my father said that was good. I've had ground ostrich,
I've had
ground elk,
I've had
ground venison, ground. I love bison.
Bison.
So,
yeah, bison is the best out of all of them.
It is.
Bison.
I had a ostrich steak, but I pussyfooted around too long and it went bad before I could cook it. It used to be a meat market on the Quinder and I think between 9 and 11 mile. It's closed since, but they would have that kind of exotic stuff in that store because I don't see that too much. I see bison and I see elk, but I don't see the other stuff. I have to go to Fresh. I think there's a store called Fresh and Time or something like that. You might find the stuff there because they used to sell bison burgers already together. Oh man, they were so good. Then they had to sell them now, the bison burgers, but it's mixed with the Wagyu. And it's like, I don't want that. I just want straight bison. Because the bison burgers are really good. And you put them in the air fryer, season them up. Oh my. They're
I,
so good.
I mean, in the summertime, I had some on the grill. Oh my God, they were unbelievable.
Yes, and lamb is too.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I get those at it's a meat market on 10 and 9 mile. I mean 10 in the lodge. No, 94, 10 and 94. Mario's, I believe it's called. And they
Hmm.
have the lamb patties. Them suckers are good. And what I have noticed that they don't shrink up. So with the bugs, stuff ain't gonna shrink up like it normally does, like regular beef will.
Cause you
Because
burn off
bison,
all that fat.
yes. Well, see, bison, people who can't eat red meat, bison they can't eat because
Yeah.
it's the leanest of all the meats. I mean,
Hmm.
they can't eat it. They shouldn't eat it every day, but they can eat it. And I love lamb steaks. Oh my goodness.
The
And
first time I had a bison burger. I was in Dallas, and I went to this restaurant for lunch, right?
it
And
wasn't Fuddruckers, was it?
no, I
Okay.
had they ostrich there,
Yeah.
Fuddruckers. But yeah, I had a bison burger, right? And it was like $15. I was like, okay, cool. But again, this is back then. This is years ago.
Yeah.
Okay,
Because when I used to get it, it was 15 for 3 pounds.
this is years ago, so it was good. I go back down there for dinner, right? I'm looking at the menu. I'm like, I ain't no prices on the menu.
Because if you got the ass, you can't afford it. I
I asked the waitress, right? I said, what happened to the bison burger? She says, oh, that's lunch. I says, oh, I'm here at the wrong time.
Yeah, as soon as they bring you out a menu and it doesn't have any prices on it, better hope your charge card got enough on it because your pocket probably don't have enough in it.
Hey, thank you. That's for sure. That's for sure. But yeah, again, this is Tyson them. They want to get rid of all of this meat and stuff like that because of the
I
processing.
don't think Tyson wants to, but I think Tyson been told they got to.
Well, I'll agree with that because that's a major part of their business that they have to give up now. But see,
Yeah,
because they've been claiming losses for the last couple of years, and
yeah,
then they also said that they're trying to prevent bankruptcy.
sure.
Exactly, we trying to prevent being bankrupt. Yeah, okay.
They ain't had no problems. They've been told to
Yes,
do
sir.
something different.
That's it has to do with this ESP score. That's all. With what's going on in the world, that they have to be socially conscious and all of this, and this is all what's going on. So it's just adapting to what, and they have to do this in order to get their funding, because this is what it's
Not
all about.
only that, like what you just said, they may own the company, but who's on their board? And that's where people make mistakes oftentimes when they run in a spot and somebody ends up on the board who sometimes ends up with more control than they have because they weren't watching. And here it is, this thing that you done built all your life for your kids and grandkids and so forth and so on, that you done made a mistake on who running things.
Exactly.
And now the direction, because, for a minute, I only heard a blurb, only saw a blurb, how the feds had gone in messing with the Amish people, trying to mess with their farms and what they plant. And it's like, wait a minute now, what's wrong with you?
I mean, so now
They
y'all
don't do that in other countries. Now that's
no,
one thing they
no, they
don't do.
don't.
They
They
don't
just
mess with the
don't
food.
seize. They just don't seize people property just because they want to. So
Yeah.
we can give it to Bill Gates so he can make all these fake food farms.
Like, man, just make the one you got. And if somebody want it, they'll buy it. Come on now.
You
But
know.
that's the as the scripture would say, the evil that men do. It is what they don't even want us to know how to do. And that's why I was telling a friend of mine, really we messed up long time ago. And I've said this on numerous occasions. It's fine wanting things to be better for our kids, but if my kid don't know how to do what I did, and if I don't know how to do what my grandparents did, then is it really better? You might be able to put me in a better living situation, but the same things ought to be required of me. The work hard ethic, the work ethic itself, to go out there and do this, that, and the other, and get a job. Now you want this? You want some gym shoes that cost $200? You go get you a $200 job, and I ain't mean selling drugs either. You go work over here for a little while till you make the money. Because see, that's what they would have done in our grandparents' era or in our great grandparents' era. The women that knew how to cook. It shouldn't have been an option. The girls and the boys should have been taught how to cook. If you knew how to do cars, you knew how to do building. Hey, you coming with me today? You can sit here and be bored, or you can sit here and learn. Do you? But you coming. Same thing with the sewing, with the crocheting, and think about had they passed all of that down, along with the things that they did pass down. How frugal our lives could be, because those people knew how to save, and they didn't pass that down either because they were so freaking secretive. But you ain't got to tell me how much money you have to tell me how to do some things. We don't pass the necessary things down.
Not at all. Not at all.
Because then this would never phase us, because we'd all have our little patch of land with something growing. Even if it's small amount, it'll be enough to suffice for the family.
We pass down the trauma, is what we pass down.
Yes, unfortunately, yes.
We pass that down very well, because I was talking to this young lady and she was saying about they, for whatever reason, I don't know, people won't always go back to, well, our grandfathers did this and and I'm saying to myself, if our grandfathers was really and truly that bad, we wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's the oldest. I'm like, I'm so tired of hearing that. I'm like, because I can sit up here and go on and on and on about my grandmother, which I'm still dealing with today, because I'm having the issues with women my age who thinking that they're still 25. So I'm dealing with issues that I had to go back to my grandmother. You know what I'm saying? Because my grandmother used to, I ain't your grandma. I'm still young. So I had a grandmother like that.
I never had a problem with stuff like that. I don't mind being your nana. That's a privilege that everybody is not afforded.
Exactly. That's an honor. I go over some people's houses and I see their grandmother, and just the look on her grandmother's face when all her grandbabies and great-grand, the look on her face of accomplishment. Like, wow. I mean, she really did look on her face of enjoyment, looking at her family, looking at what came through her vessel.
Yeah. Good, bad, or indifferent.
Good, bad, or indifferent. I'm saying we didn't got to a point where we just want to have the experience of having a kid. You just want to get pregnant. I just want to have sex with you to get you pregnant. We just want to have the experience. We don't want to have a kid and you know what I mean? It's like, where are we going here?
Well, this is what happens when you don't want to hear and don't want to learn and just want to do. And it never works out well for you. So, I mean, you have to ask yourself, what do you have to offer a child? What can you tell them? You don't know anything. So now, if you don't know anything, they'll know even less. And you want to raise a fool? That don't work out well.
Because the issue is we're all learning on the fly. Okay? And since we all learning
I don't think so.
I
think we learn it. No, you're not. Because you know what? You learn. This is why I say that. What you learn by choice. I sincerely believe what the Lord said. Raise a child in the way that they should go, and when they are old, they won't depart from it. I mean, it talks about not being around people who are going to do harm to somebody else. It specifically says that. It talks about just being loving and kind. So no, we got some orders on how to raise them. And you ain't got to beat them with a pipe to beat them. But if you spare the rod, you will spoil the child. Spoil means something that's why I don't like. I've told you that before. I don't like to hear people say, "Girl, he's spoiled." No, I ain't. My grandbaby ain't spoiled. Because spoil means he's useless, and you need to throw him away and be discarded. But teaching a child respect, teaching a child honor, teaching a child a work ethic, teaching a child discipline. Discipline is a form of love. Anybody that let you do what you want to do, they don't care about you. Because when things go left, they ain't gonna be there to try to bail you out. They're gonna look at you like, what the hell did he do that dumb stuff for?
You the
Because you
one who
allowed
did
that
that.
person. You did. You created that. You sure did. You don't come here with good sense. The Bible says we are born in iniquity, and a baby is evident of that. Look at the stuff they do. You don't never have to teach them how to do the wrong thing. All you ever have to teach them is how to do the right thing and to do the right thing better than what they did it yesterday. But wrong, you don't never have to teach a kid wrong. Never, 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 ever. They got that down pat. And if you do not discipline them, the moment they do it, you're gonna have a problem. He just a baby. No, he can't speak English yet. He know exactly what he did. That's why when you said stop, he did. He just can't speak English back to you good yet. Maybe. He's not doing it in front of you anyway. That's
Because
why,
they've been hearing English all while they're in the womb, so they understand.
and that's when you start talking to them, is why they're in the womb. Because they can hear it. I mean, they did experiments with the babies who listen to jazz and it calms them in the womb. It'll calm them in the world. Like they took that picture on Facebook of the baby hearing his father's voice, who used to talk to him all the time in the womb. That baby knew who daddy was immediately. But we take so much for granted. But the moment a kid does something wrong, all you gotta do is that then you know that don't hurt. But to them, it does. Oh, just break their heart. You tell the kid, I'm really disappointed in you. That's not what mama wants you to do. That's why they don't like that either. They don't want to be disappointed in you because, see, this is their mind and you own it right now. That's why if I had to do it all over again, I would have homeschooled my kids at least to maybe ninth grade level. I never would have put them in the public school system because you need to have a grasp over that baby's mind so that when they do come in contact with the world, they are more solid in their processing of information. They're more solid in their ability to say no, because that's what you've built up in them. You have more authority. But see, I blame us women on that. I got to get my life, girl. I got to have me a job. That ain't our role first. That's not our first role. Our first role is, if you had this baby, you help raise the kid. You do that. And now when this kid gets to a certain age, okay, then you can go do what you got to do while the kid's at school. Kids get out of school, best place for you to be is at home to get them. You ain't got to worry about pedophiles and all these things happening to kids when they on their way home if you home or yourself. Quit talking about what you got too many kids. Well, you should have had too many daddies. That's your fault. It is. That's your fault. It is. It's completely our responsibility. I'm the one that can get pregnant. I have a responsibility to not create a problem for myself, not the baby, but the circumstances. Now I got to do this and I got to find a babysitter. You done found a pedophile, don't even know it. Somebody traumatizing your kid while you at work and thinking the baby's safe because the person is an old lady, but you don't know about her old drunk boyfriend that come by while she got to go run to the store and he keeping the kids. It's little stuff like that that we create and don't take responsibility of it. I mean, most women would probably assassinate me, but it is what it is. You get mad because it's true. You want to cause harm to the person that said it because it's the truth that you can't stand to hear. They've been killing people from the truth since Jesus. So, but you a man. You know I'm telling the truth. You can't get none if I don't give you none. And if you have not promised me anything, or if I had any standards at all, and I didn't demand by my behavior, not my mouth, but by behavior, that you meet my standards before I do anything, then everything that fall apart is on me. It is. It's on me. So back to the bugs.
Well, ooh, my God, what is it? Oh, let me get that out the way. So, yeah, it's I'm gonna have to find that other video that I was watching that was in English, and they were showing all these containers and shit that they was moving the bugs in. It was really interesting. It was really, really, really interesting. Like,
What
wow,
kind of bugs were they using?
same ones that they was just showing,
Okay.
pretty much. Yeah, it was
But I
really.
mean, we can't deny it, because
No,
you
you
have
can't.
natives in other countries. They already doing this. They've been
Yeah,
doing this forever.
they'll just pick them up out the earth and eat them.
Eat them. Yep.
You know, yeah. So, I mean, because I was talking one day to my home healthcare client, and I was telling her about Parmesan cheese, and I said, you know that Parmesan cheese got wood chips in it, right? Wood shavings in it, right? And she was like, ugh. I said, well, think about it. Ain't nothing wrong with wood. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Think about it. I was like, there's nothing, absolutely nothing wrong with wood.
Especially in that form.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, so, I'm like, when I heard that at first I was alarmed, but then I thought about it, I was like, that's not a bad thing.
Especially if it's not treated with some chemical that's,
Right. Absolutely.
yeah.
I'm like,
Because there's something in some barks that's good for you because they use it in
yes,
other countries. Yeah.
yes, yes. I mean, and if a tree produces oxygen, it has to be some form of, chlorella or something in there, chlorophyll in there, to help to clean the
Yep.
body, if it's, especially if it's producing oxygen. So, but yeah, when I heard that, I was not, and again, I was kind of like I wasn't taken aback. It was like, but then I was like, what? Yeah, trees, where
And the
they,
more you think about it, some of that's better than some of this other stuff they do, processed stuff that they do.
absolutely, way much better,
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, so I say, and as long as it's digestible, what the hell,
And
so
matter of fact, it may clean your system better than some of the stuff you eating, just like corn does. Corn goes right through.
right through,
The same way it went in, it's the same way it come out. And I
exactly.
always look at stuff like that. It's got to be cleaning because it's going in and coming out. It's got to be taking something with it.
It has to, you know what I'm saying? But again, they'll give you the answers if you really paying attention. Because I've always wondered why they said aloe vera was good for the stomach. Okay? I've always wondered this why. I'm watching the TV one day and they're talking about that the stomach is good. The stomach is real spongy. And so it needs another spongy substance to attract the garbage that's in the stomach. That's why aloe vera is good for your stomach because
In which form? In the gel or some of the meaty
gel,
form? The
the
gel.
gel,
Okay.
because the gel is like your stomach, and as it's coming out, it pulls the garbage out that the
That makes
stomach.
sense.
And I'm like, it does make sense. Gets back to chemotherapy. They're talking because I had heard that your cells rejuvenate every 90 days, right?
Yes. I've
Okay,
heard. Yes.
under normal circumstances, your cells regenerate on the 90 days. It made sense when I heard chemotherapy that they give you 90 days of chemotherapy. I said, so they trying to kill you for them 90 days.
Yep. Well, years ago, either the person was talking about it or I read the article that they know chemo don't do nothing for you anyway. And
Will
it's all
kill you.
about the MONEY. Because people have way more problems after that. I have a friend, they have bone issues, they
Mm-hmm.
have problems with their teeth, they have it exacerbates arthritis in the system.
I was just about to say the arthritis is one I definitely didn't heard about. Heavy with that is the
Yeah,
arthritis.
yeah. So I don't even know what I would do if the necessity became available. But I've always heard that if you catch it like in the first go around, if you go all natural, you'll probably do better than messing
Yeah.
with that
See,
stuff.
now keep as me and you keep saying it. Race is really not a major issue. It's class. I'm out one night, and this is a while ago, years ago. I'm out one night, and I'm talking to an insurance executive, and we sitting there, and we just, real cool conversation. And he says, and I'm just asking him about, the cost of different surgeries and shit, right? Because I be curious. I be wanting to know this stuff. And just out the blue, he says, well, most hip replacement surgeries are unnecessary.
I just read that in the article I got in my email. I mean, literally yesterday in an email article I have, it said exactly that. It sure did.
He says the doctors just like to run up the insurance.
And my friend just had hers done.
I'm telling. I tripped out when he said 9 out of 10 are unnecessary. They
Yep.
just running up the insurance, getting vulnerable people.
Well, the doctor was telling me about a probable surgery for myself, where they fuse this area of the back and fuse. I ain't doing no fusing.
And he
Then I'll be
said,
like stiff, and what
and,
does that do later on down the road? And will I still be able to walk? And am I gonna be in a wheelchair? What does the cold weather do if you put metal in my body? I told him I die with this. I'm good.
and he sitting there telling you all of this, and he confident, and we gonna do this, and I done did this a
Yes,
thousand times. And
I couldn't do it though. You talking about the lumbar region too? Mm-mm.
boy, you may
Now
be.
I had a friend who had my sister too, had a friend that had something with a cervical piece, but the little scars about like that, and the person been doing fine ever since. But that thing about this, and you're gonna fuse this, and you're gonna fuse that, and then you're gonna put some pins. My first thing was, well, what about in the wintertime? How am I gonna be? Well, it'll be deep down in there. So, that's a foreign object in my body. I'm good. I just get muscle rubs and exercise. I'll be all right. I have to die with that one. And I'm not even my endocrinologist made a comment about back surgery. How one of his friends that had it ain't been right since. He said, back surgery ain't always the way to go. Now that's the white doctor.
I asked the doctor one time, would you allow one of your colleagues to perform surgery on you? He looked at me as if I asked him, can I have or perform oral sex on his wife? Like, nigga, what? Nigga, what? He looked at me straight up like, nigga, please. I wish I would.
Cause they know. That's just like when they thought I had a stroke. TI that version, the TIA. And the doctor was saying I had this problem and that problem. So this other doctor did the procedure where they put the camera down this way. I forgot what that's called. And they look at your heart from that direction.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard him, because you're not
Stethoscope or
completely
some
out.
kind of, yeah.
Yeah. But you're not completely out. You're more like Twilight or whatever, just enough for them to do that without you. He said, man, she ain't got no hole. Ain't nothing wrong with her. I heard him, and I ain't never forgot that. He said, she ain't got no hole. Ain't nothing wrong with her. And I thought to myself, thank you, Lord. Because I was awake enough, I was alert enough to hear what he had to say. I couldn't feel anything. You feel pressure, but and that's the second time I've had that procedure. So,
Last time I went to the doctor, right? Two things now. The doctor says, he asks me 3 questions about my health, right? So I told him, so he checks me out. He sends me to, I had to go through the heart thing and shit, right? So you know how they put that gel and shit on you and pat you up
yeah.
and shit, right? And so the woman up there, and she and she starts laughing, right? I said, what's so funny? She said, why you up here? Right? She said, why you up here? I said, based upon your line of questioning, obviously y'all running up the insurance. She cracks up laughing so hard she has to walk out the room.
Cause she know.
Because she knew, again, when she asked me, what are you up here for?
Yep. She knows. You know what you know, and can't nobody beat you out of it. It is what it is.
Hold on now. Keep in mind, I got stomach issues. This is why I came in here now, right? They put me in the CAT scan and shit. Pour this stuff that tastes like sweet milk of magnesia with crystal flakes in it. And I can feel all these flakes just bubbling up in my stomach, right? And so that wasn't enough when they got me up under there, right? They couldn't see shit. They had to pull me out, turn me around, so all this, whatever the fuck they put in my body, can go all through my body, right?
They got to find something.
This is what I'm going. I mean, this is amazing to me because I'm sitting here saying, wow, for real. I'm going through they finally get it. They go through. After about 2 weeks, they send me my information. Guess what it says? We ain't find nothing wrong with you.
I knew it.
Whatever it is you're doing, keep it up.
Keep
We'll
doing
see
it.
you in 6 months.
But you know what though? But that's what I try to tell people. You know your body better than they do.
Thank
The
you.
only difference between them and you is that they can look on the inside.
That's
That's it. And that's all. They read a book just like you read a book. There are certain things about women. I'll give you an example. Okay, when women are on their period, women they have all kind of weird things that go crazy, and one of them is some people get diarrhea when they're on their period. They didn't even put that in as one of those things until shoot I was grown, because they only know what we tell them.
What you tell them, yeah.
So once enough people tell you that that's a symptom, you can add it to the list. But you can't tell me more than me about me. I know what I tried to tell a woman. She just said semantics. No, it's not semantics. If I tell you I'm in pain versus I'm in discomfort, they're not the same thing. That's why they spell different and mean something different. And she gonna try to tell me it was semantics. No, it's not. Pain is what it is. I hurt really bad enough for me to notice it, to sit me down, and to tell you. Discomfort, I don't really hurt, but I'm not comfortable with, sitting up this way. I'm not,
right. I turn
it
this
makes
way,
me,
I got a little pain.
I might get a little I might not even get I might just get a little nausea. I may get a little dizzy. That's discomfort.
I can live with discomfort.
Yes. But not only, and see, that's what I know about the mentality of the person that you're talking to. That's you got short thinking, and you only going by what a book say instead of thinking as a human being would think. That ain't exactly the same thing. You got a headache versus damn, my head hurts. It ain't the same thing, because one could let you know the person about to have a stroke, or they have an aneurysm versus just a little headache and it's raining outside and it's probably sinus. So I tell folks, you can read just like they can read. And my mom was notorious for researching stuff before she made up her mind to do it. The only thing I wish she hadn't done was take so many pills, because you got a bag and it's got medication all in it, you got too much stuff. I used to tell Mama, that stuff ain't even working no more. I had the inmate, the NyQuil cup was full of different type of medication. I told her them things don't work. I said that one to cancel out that one, to cancel out that one, to cancel out that one. Or this one is making this one stronger, that's making that one stronger, and now you got a drug you ain't supposed to have it all in your system.
Exactly, because you got a hell
Not
of a
only that, you never take them all at the same time, because some of them don't even need to be taken within a 2-hour span of the other one. It's written on the container, but they got y'all taking them because they call them the med line, and whatever meds you take, that's the ones you get, because ain't nobody got time to be coming through here to give it to you when you're supposed to have it.
My mother, they got her taking something for her stomach, right? Okay. She taking this now. Of course, high blood pressure and whatever. This one is filled, and she kept just talking about how her throat always, her mouth always dry. She got to drink a lot of water. I said, well, I guarantee you one of your pills is full of sodium. Right? This is first. I said, I guarantee you it's full of sodium.
Which is hurting her heart. Hello.
I says, I go on, I look, and I says, okay, this is this. And she was like, oh. I says, well, she says, so I don't have to take my water pills then. I says, he's giving you water pills too. I said, so he's giving you the thing that's messing your liver up.
And
Then
your kidneys.
I mean, and right. I mean, he's giving you this, and then it's also making you dry. And so since it's drying you out, now he's prescribing you water pills. I says, are you fucking kidding me? Really?
They'll kill you because you don't know. They'll kill you because you don't check out what they're giving you.
I goes to the clinic with her. She's telling him the situation, right? Guess what he does? He go get his iPad and do some research on it. Check that Google, like President Bush said. I go use that Google. He used that Google and then said, yeah, it does do that. I'm like, wow. They just in here just prescribing shit, ain't looked it up, just getting a benefit every time they prescribe it. I'm like, this is just insane. And so
That's why you have to check your own stuff.
Seriously. I says, and to prove everything I'm saying, Ma, I says, look around this office. I says, everything you see that got a label on it, it's a pharmaceutical company. So who do they really work for?
That's right. And you're right. That's exactly, because I told my doctor once, I said, now how you going to prescribe that? And it's already a lawsuit on it. You trying to kill me? Yeah.
It's a lawsuit? Now you want to be surprised. There's a lawsuit on
No,
this?
he didn't. He just shook his head because he know me. You can't just give me anything.
Wow.
I go to him because I like him and he'll do whatever I ask. Because I don't take that stuff. It's a lawsuit on it. Folks dying already. What the hell? Don't you know? Yeah, he might not have.
I'm telling probably wouldn't. They don't know. They in it for the money.
They've been told that this is what this drug will do.
Exactly.
And they use it. And they don't look it up themselves to see a dang on thing. And they just prescribe it for you.
It's been approved by the FDA. We didn't clinically tested it on them little cats and them.
You know who they testing it on is us, because they know the moment it's been prescribed because of the pharmacy. So they take statistics from that. My friend of mine was taking the medication and now he on dialysis.
Insane. When I was working at AT&T, one of the techs there, he decided he was having sleeping problems. So he decided to do a sleep apnea test, right? He'd go down there 2 days out the week. And he would come in every time after having his test, be exhausted, right? And I asked him one day, why are you always coming in here so exhausted? Guess is why he's always exhausted. Because they keeping him up all night asking him questions. He said, man,
everybody's dumb.
He said they come in there every 45 minutes with some dumb ass.
That's not even how you do it. I know better than that. That's not how you do the test. Man, no.
I say people dumb to the motherfucker. I swear.
But I know better than that. That's not how you run the test.
Talking about they kept people up all night.
That is so pitiful.
We do anything. We listen and we do anything for real. The problem is
they causing the problem doing that to him.
Exactly. And the problem is we always striving for happiness. And not realizing that happiness comes from humbleness and contentness. And you know, now you don't always have to be striving for more. You know what I mean? So it ain't
Matter of fact, the more you got, more money, more problems.
Because, okay, now you're a millionaire. Now you got millionaire problems.
And they worse than $100 problems.
I mean, so it ain't like nothing changes here. You just got more money. You still got problems. Nothing goes away. They just
however I'll take the million.
I'll prefer having 7-figure problems than these 3-figure problems.
I'm just saying, you know, I know how to handle it. That's why we never get it.
So, woo, boy, time flies. We didn't hit the hour mark.
Okay, my darling, you have a wonderful week, and everyone, please hit the like, the share, the subscribe. We appreciate your attendance. Any questions, leave us something there. And enjoy the rest of your day and have a wonderful week. And this is Lady A signing off.
Peace and blessings, and everybody enjoy your Sunday and have a good week upcoming. Talk to you next week.